Hello and welcome to the Overcast podcast, UBC Cricket Club's very own podcast. Yes, we're back in our own studio. It's a real privilege. And it's a real privilege to have with me Ishan. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, yeah, back at the studio. Like you said, always a good feeling to be back. We did I think 4 episodes on Zoom,
Yeah,
but it's a different feeling to be back
definitely.
on campus again.
Feels like home.
Feels like home. And we are at home in our university.
Yeah.
We got a lot of topics to cover today. A lot of cricket that's been happening. I think we've missed 3 months of cricket.
Oh yeah.
So that's a lot. What do you want to start with?
I think we can't move past the Asia Cup
Mm-hmm.
because a lot's happened in that tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, some say it's only done because of India-Pakistan.
Right.
But let's start with India-Pakistan. Why not? Round one,
Mm-hmm.
India-Pakistan. There's Pakistani bowlers, hellfire. They came with hellfire on that on and off kind of day
Mm-hmm.
where rain was also a guest. What are your thoughts? What did you feel in that game?
Yeah, pretty scary to be honest. Again, with the left-handers coming in, attacking Rohit's bats, Virat's bats, and
Yes, them?
not him, not him. We are Shaheen Shah Afridi this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't see much of an improvement because I mean we've been talking about left-handers and Pakistani bowlers, over time now, and I kind of expected at least Rohit to have some answers for the incoming ball or Virat to have some answers as well, or to change some technique or something. But we had the same difficulty in round one. Couldn't face him up front, so I'm kind of scared for the World Cup as well now.
Mhm.
Even though it won't swing as much in the World Cup, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we still need to be concerned about Shaheen Shah Afridi. I've been saying let's play bilaterals against Pakistan. Let's call them up for the IPL as well.
Definitely.
Because the more we play against them, the better we get. But yeah, round one was amazing. Rain did play a spoil sport, but beautiful game. Amazing cricket to watch. What do you think about Shaheen Shah Afridi's bowling and how Pakistan sort of went into the game looking really strong as India?
I think that game really reminded us that we can't get too ahead of ourselves. That there's still opposition, and that's why I'm very excited about the World Cup, which we will speak about.
Mm-hmm.
But that game, like Shaheen Shah Afridi, he set the tone.
Yeah.
Like initially, he was bowling a bit too full, and India got a few runs. Came back from a rain break. He realized his line and length, and I think that's just the beauty of cricket. There, like you improvise on the spot, and you learn from your mistakes, and you come very hard at. Even as an Indian fan, of course, like I was crazy at that moment, like, oh no, Kohli's out. But it's just a beautiful spell of bowling. Not to mention Naseem Shah.
Oh yeah.
Absolute mess in the World Cup, but what a spell he was bowling. Very unlucky to not get wickets in that period. I think Shubman Gill just seemed like, I don't know, like a baby in that kind of spot,
Yeah.
I think 10 of 31 balls, unplayable stuff from Naseem Shah.
Which is crazy because it's been Shubman's year. I mean, to see him struggle against that
Exactly.
lineup, it was pretty impressive from a Pakistani point of view.
Absolutely.
To have Shubman struggling at that point,
Yeah.
him with the year he's been having, was just very impressive from Naseem Shah attacking him. I think it was Naseem Shah who really dominated that day,
Absolutely.
in my opinion. And so, like you said, we're gonna miss him in the World Cup.
Yeah.
He's an amazing bowler. But yeah, what about round two though? Round was
Round
amazing.
two, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we're excited about that. As you can see, I mean, we set up as a
Yeah, I mean,
India.
no bias,
No bias at all.
no bias.
extremely objective here.
But to give an understatement,
Yeah.
India smoked
Oh, yeah.
Pakistan in that game.
Oh yeah.
Absolute bashing, everybody in form. KL Rahul,
Mm-hmm.
all the critics silenced.
Yeah.
Gautam Gambhir sitting in the corner. Kohli as well got it done, and the start Rohit and Gill got us into.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of the Sachin Sehwag days, kind of with the dynamic starts they used to get us.
Yeah.
What do you think India did well in that game?
I think a lot of boxes were ticked. Like you said, the opening partnership is the number one strength for me at the moment.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
going into the World Cup with Rohit's form, at the top level with Shubman, the way he's going.
Yeah.
A lot of positives from an Indian point of view. And then Kohli, I mean, he's always been in form in my opinion, obviously.
Yeah.
As an RCB fan, he's always been in form. So him going into the World Cup, potentially his last one. I think we're looking really strong. From that game's point of view specifically, I think, like you said, Rahul, I think the whole sort of series or the whole Asia Cup tournament, Rahul was a big plus point for me.
Definitely.
Providing some stability at number 4, 5, 6, wherever you make him play, he'll do the job. Even with the
Exactly.
gloves, he'll do the job
Yeah.
mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it was amazing. Round 2 was amazing from an Indian perspective, like you said. Just all boxes ticked. Shadab Khan got smoked. So that we love to see that.
It was like a 2019 recap to me. I'm like,
Exactly.
did you bowl the same ball? Did you bowl the same ball?
Tossing it up
Yeah.
into his path, Rohit smashing it over mid
Smashed.
wicket. Oh, amazing to
Absolutely.
watch. Amazing.
And not to mention India's bowling as well.
Yeah.
That game,
Yeah.
like I saw boom boom. Oof.
So
What a
good.
spell of bowling.
So good.
And that Pandya dismissal to Babar Azam, like dream ball.
That's another thing, right? Hardik Pandya's bowling. I think it gives so much to the Indian bowling attack.
Definitely.
With the kind of swing and the seam movement he gets off the pitch, the pace he's been bowling at. Yeah, Hardik Pandya is the player to watch out for, in my opinion, because he's the one sort of handles the batting, the low order, middle order, and the bowling as well, being the fifth bowler. So I
Yeah.
think Hardik Pandya is the key for India going into the World Cup.
He's and very cool headed.
Oh yeah,
Like
sure.
the calmness is there.
for sure.
But like, you know what? More things happen in the Asia.
Oh yeah, a lot of things happen.
You know, there's that one game. I don't know how, but Afghanistan was Sri Lanka, and I feel, I used to hate maths back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Afghanistan players also did.
Oh my god.
They did not know how to win, like mathematically speaking.
Yeah.
Like, how badly does a team have to screw up to lose that one?
I mean, they have people sitting in the dressing room, on the calculators. Jonathan Troy, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Trotty back in the dressing room. They have one job to do:
Yeah.
calculate how much you need to qualify. And I don't know what happened. I just don't know what happened.
I think it goes to question the GCSE math curriculum.
Maybe. I don't know.
Trotty struggling with
I
the.
I mean, to be fair, IB students, like I could have done that. Being like math AI
Exactly.
student, I could have done that.
Exactly.
Just like calculating how much I need, just
Yeah.
subtract a few numbers, add a few numbers. I think it's not that difficult.
Yeah.
Especially from a cricket point of view, slightly embarrassing to be very honest.
That's a major loss.
Yeah, pretty tragic. Pretty
yeah,
tragic.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
And like Afghanistan were playing so well in that game.
That's the thing.
They like constructed a very good chase,
Oh,
an
yeah.
ambitious chase against Sri Lanka, who did reach the finals of
Mhm.
the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
So like I just feel it's quite unfortunate for a team like Afghanistan.
Exactly. And talking about Sri Lanka in the final, we were expecting something better from the defending champions. To be fair, it is the Asia Cup, so I mean our expectations are kind of low. To be very honest, with the rain coming in, pitches were
Yeah.
acting a bit slow.
Yeah.
But that day, I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, the scorecard didn't even look real.
They did beat RCB though. Just to add, they
Just
did
by
beat
one
RCB.
run. Just by one run. Let's note that. Just by one run. Ah, man.
But for context, RCB is of course Ishad's favorite team. No
Of course,
bias,
of
but
course,
like
of course.
no, but yeah, Sri Lanka were in a clear hurry to get to India.
Mm.
They had a flight to catch or something,
They did.
unlike Hetmyer. But like,
Not again. Not again. Poor Hetty.
but no, I think look, Mo Siraj was on fire.
Oh my god.
Like we mentioned like how he was on fire in the IPL.
Mm.
This was like oof. This was a major assault
Yeah.
in Sri Lanka. Like when we were watching the match, it's just that we were joking around. Like okay, another one's gonna come.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mm.
There's another one. Like what do you feel Mohammad Siraj has done well? What has he changed?
Just another W for the big guy. Mohammad Siraj, a legend, RCB legend, and
Of
now an
course.
Indian legend as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, he's an exceptional bowler. And it's not just that the batters were kind of poor in their batting skills, and they were pushing the ball to the fielders, giving catching practice. But
Yeah.
some of the deliveries, like one to the captain, Darshan Chanuka, ball nipping away at the last moment,
Absolute
squaring him
peach.
up. I mean, he's the captain of the team,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
squaring him up. And I mean, we've experienced some squaring up recently as well. We
Oh,
talk about the
no.
league
Oh,
maybe
no.
later. But yeah, I mean, squaring up Darshan Chanuka, that's not a joke.
That's not a joke.
With the pace he's bowling at, and I love the celebration as well with the whole stadium suing, with Mo Siraj and Kohli and Siraj combination.
Definitely.
It's an amazing feeling to watch, not just from an RCB perspective, but from an Indian perspective as well. But what he took a 6-4, I think, in that game.
Yeah,
Amazing.
6-4. Yeah,
Amazing.
like we were and I still remember how he had to run to the boundary.
Oh, yeah, that
Everybody was laughing.
That was a big moment.
Like the Indian team really like came together in that game,
yeah.
and and of course, like we finished it off in 6
Mhm.
overs. Everybody who traveled to Sri Lanka for a final, you get a full day off.
I feel bad for them.
But yeah, and that was the Asia Cup.
Mhm.
Like it was like a mixed bag. That was really
Yeah.
unfortunately kind of hit with a lot of rain, and
And reserve day for just one game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
That was very interesting.
That was interesting.
But yeah, I mean, that's how the game works nowadays.
Some Jai Shah politics going on.
Yeah, some big politicians.
I like how every time there was some interesting moment in the game, when you pan to Jai Shah, it's
Of
always like he's orchestrating it all.
I mean, yeah, a bit interesting there. I think a lot of cricketers had something to say about that, but you know, that's how the game works nowadays. We just got to accept it, I guess. You know, if you want cricket, we got to accept the sort of political aspects of the game. But I mean, it's all fine. I mean, as long as, you know, certain institutions are kept in place, I think no one will complain. And we got a good game of cricket, so I think nothing to lose from it. So that was the Asia Cup. Moving on, what do you think was the next big highlight that we've missed that we should talk about?
I think the India-Australia series. But before I go to that, regarding records being broken and low scores and high scores, let's talk a bit about Nepal versus Mongolia.
I was trying to skip past that. Because a record was broken, very unfortunately.
Because RCB was beaten not only with good batting but also bad batting. Just imagine that.
Yeah.
That must have been a good and a bad day for you.
It's just confusing day. Really very much. I don't know who to support. I don't know what to think. Yeah, but crazy display of batting, crazy cricket being happening. What do you think about that game? I mean, just amazing result for them.
I really don't know if it's good for cricket or bad for cricket, because you have one team scoring 314 in 20 overs.
Yeah.
Fastest 50, by the way, of like, I think 9 or 10 balls.
Yeah.
And I know the ground dimensions are small, but that's crazy. That's seriously insane. And then on the other hand, Mongolia is there with their 41.
Yeah.
I mean, Asian Games is another a very good initiative, to be honest, to introduce cricket. Of course, the Indian women's have won gold in the Asian Games women's cricket. That was amazing. Smriti Mandhana.
So again, RCB.
There we go. She's a queen, absolute queen. If King Kohli is king, then she's the queen of Indian cricket.
Exactly.
I think the grace, the elegance, and more importantly, timing. I think some of the shots she plays is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Indian team at the Asian Games replicates that feat. But moving on to the India-Australia series at home. That was an interesting one.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts of that series, firstly?
Honestly, just a bit pointless. I mean, if the top players are not playing all games, why are we playing that series in the first place? Just before the World Cup, is it really necessary to have 3 games against Australia?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was good to see some cricket happening and some high quality cricket as well. I mean, even though the top players like Kohli weren't playing, I mean, I'm just mentioning Kohli because he's the top player for me.
Of course.
Even the Smith and Warner did play all 3 games, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So Australia were pretty set for all 3 games except for Stark coming in for the last game.
Yeah.
But it was India who I think were without Bumrah and Kohli for 2 of the games, I think, and Kohli was just missing for the first 2 games. So incredible series, I think. High scoring series. We got to, test out a lot of the sort of concerns we had with our squad. I think Shreyas Iyer was a big positive for me in that series. Him stepping up, Surya doing what Surya does. I think he was going into the series with 3 consecutive ducks. Golden ducks as well.
Yep.
So for him to show that he can bat in ODIs, a lot of people are saying that he's not an ODI kind of player. I completely disagree with that. I mean, if he's a T20 player, what makes him a non-ODI player? It doesn't make sense to me. And he showed that. He just batted with the same style. Took some time in the first game, I think. Made a 50 or some 60 or 70 balls. So strike rate, but at least he got in. And then second game, I mean, he just showed his class.
Bashing. 4 sixes. I think he just spared Cameron Green an IPL contract. Same team, right?
Exactly.
It was like, okay, you know what? Let's not hit 6 sixes on him.
Yeah, I'm going to see you later in the year. But and I think for the third game, Maxi coming in, RCB again, taking 4 wickets. You did get bowled by a very good ball from Boom. But
I think India, Australia both were following inflate deflate strategy from RCB.
Exactly.
Because India got Australia's confidence up with Maxi being a spinning option.
Right.
Give 4 wickets away to him. I can't believe it.
Yeah, and some good balls as well in there.
Yeah, no, and with the inflate deflate, there's a lot of kind of mystery in this series. Ashwin changing his actions around. Warner playing right.
What was that about? And he getting just reverse sweeping, batting righty, getting LBW. I think that was just.
And he got an inside edge also.
Yeah, he didn't review that for some reason.
I think he didn't just bat right-handed. His brain switched.
Both
switched.
Oh my God.
Something happened. But yeah, it's been a weird series, a high-scoring one.
Oh yeah.
It's good to see the batters in runs. and I think it will. I think this series kind of sets the tone for the World Cup as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
As you've seen in the like warm-up matches as well, they've been very high scoring and they've been chased down.
Yeah.
So I think this initial part of the tournament is going to be that way, where the pitches are very flat and it's for the batsmen to really capitalize on.
Yeah.
Spin will play a huge part in this World Cup, given it's in India.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's talk about the World Cup. With the Indian team now, Akshar Patel out of the squad. And
Which is
Ashwin
multiple injuries.
Multiple injuries.
Just like some back spasms in some earlier games. But yeah, you talk about spin. I was pretty surprised when Australia rested out Ashwin Agar from Marnus. I think he could have rested someone else.
Yeah.
But they're going in without Ashwin Agar, who's a pretty good option for them in left arm.
Handy option, yeah.
Pretty handy option. Even in nets, I think he might travel with them for the nets because he's a pretty good practice for them, for their batters against Jadeja or Akshar Patel, who's not playing. But still, I mean, going in without Ashwin Agar is a pretty interesting decision. But I think India, on the other hand, have done a good job taking Ashwin in, an experienced bowler who knows some World Cup situations. He's played the 2011 World Cup with Kohli.
Exactly.
So I think these are only two people who have continued.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited from an Indian perspective. We have Kuldeep in top form, Jadeja who's finding his form, but I trust him fully.
Definitely,
he'll come good for us. And then Ashwin, like I said, a completely experienced bowler and a handy batter as well. So
good with the runouts on non-strikers as well.
Yeah, we need those.
In case Joss is playing,
you never know.
You never know. But regarding the Indian squad, UC Chahal is missing.
Yeah.
They've sent him to Kent to make reels, but
I mean, you need someone to like boost their social media.
Definitely, definitely. But like, what are your thoughts? Like, I mean, I feel quite unfortunate for the guy like him. Like, even Rutu got a chance in the Australia series, and UC Chahal didn't get a bowl. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, the Rutu selection was very odd for me. If he's playing the Commonwealth or whatever the Asian Games and not being selected for the World Cup, then why is he playing here? And if he's playing here, then why not Yuzi or why not Gabbar? Dhawan. So Dhawan and Chahal haven't played for India for the last couple of months. Has been a surprising factor for me. But I kind of expected them to not select Chahal going into the World Cup because he's not played any international cricket for us over the past couple of months. So yeah, pretty unfortunate for him. He's a top bowler, but yeah, not very surprised, to be very honest. But yeah, I mean, looking into the next World Cup, I think we should at least play him in the bilateral series going into the T20 World Cup next year.
Definitely.
I think he's a pretty good T20 bowler, in my opinion. So UC Chahal is a player to watch out for after the World Cup, and I think he'll have a point to prove as well, for sure. So
definitely. Yeah. And what are your thoughts on the World Cup itself? Which teams look strong to you? What are you expecting out of this World Cup? Which players to watch out for, in your opinion?
I think, without a doubt, India should be able to make it. Even though some people, a lot of people are doubting India for some reason. But no, I think India will make it to the final and win the cup this year.
Okay.
After a long time.
That's a hot take in my opinion.
That's a hot take in your opinion?
Yeah.
I think they're going to win the cup after all this while.
Okay.
At least I hope so. But I think Pakistan is one team that I'm pretty concerned about still. Like I said in the beginning, I think that the bowling combination of Shaheen Shah and Harish Shroff and people like him, they're very dangerous, dangerous. And the batting as well with Mohammad Rizwan, Babar Azam, a dangerous Iftikhar Ali in the middle. They're a very dangerous team.
Definitely.
So Pakistan and India for me are the top two. Otherwise, Australia, England, you kind of expect them to sort of always show their game, come up for the big situations, big games, and show their caliber. So I think Australia, England, India, or Pakistan should be the top four. New Zealand this time, I'm not backing them.
The left arm?
No. New Zealand. I know they have a pretty good left arm, pretty good bowling combination overall.
Yeah.
And they chased down, I think, Pakistan 340 something score as well.
Kane Williamson batted on one leg and he chased it
Why
down.
did he play that game? If he's not playing the opener, why did he play against Pakistan?
No clue.
But do you think New Zealand will make it into the top four? Do you agree with me? Do you think England, Australia, Pakistan?
I despite my contradiction on India winning the World Cup, I think they'll definitely make it to the top four.
Right.
With Pakistan, of course.
Okay.
They are an extremely good squad, and they've proved that they can do well in these conditions.
Right. Yeah.
Since every pitch on Pakistani conditions is a road.
Exactly.
It's a road. It's called a highway.
It's a highway.
But and we have kind of replicated that model here. But I think Pakistan, India are making it. I think England are making it.
Okay.
I think they, in my opinion, they go as strong favorites to retain their World Cup.
Wow. Okay.
So I think because it's just the brand of cricket they play and the pitches that there are to support them. And I think the fourth team is a very strong clash between New Zealand and South Africa, in my opinion.
Wow, okay, that's a big call.
Because I think, as you saw, South Africa did smoke Australia
They did.
in a massive comeback, a
Mhm.
3-2 series comeback. And I think they just have the right team to play in Indian conditions.
Yeah,
And New Zealand, only because I don't know what happens to them ICC
I have
tournaments.
no idea.
They've made the last two finals. They've made a ICC T20 final. They won the WTC. They made the semi-final. So I don't know what happens with New Zealand.
I just don't want them to come into the final.
And for some reason they released Henry Shipley against us, and now they don't have it. So yeah, so I have no clue.
But yeah, South Africa, like you said, I think
Yeah.
if there's one team other than India that I would not mind winning the World Cup, it's South Africa.
They deserve
They
it.
deserve it.
They deserve it.
And one player to watch out for, like you asked, would be Heinrich Klaassen.
Oh yeah.
I think on spinning tracks, he's a player who can really carry South Africa. And if they do win the cup, I think he's gonna play a big part in the role in the World Cup, because we're gonna have lots of spinning tracks, and I think Heinrich Klaassen, I don't know what happens against spinners for him, but smashing Zampa 113 or something, one of the ODIs.
I felt Australia might release the Hulk.
The Hulk.
Stoinis after Heinrich Klaassen because
On the field or off the field?
both.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Stoinis is that character for Australia, yeah, just going after players.
But no, yeah, I think Heinrich Klaassen definitely is one to watch out for.
Yeah.
In my opinion, another player to watch out for is Tamim Iqbal. Oh no, never mind. Sorry. Sorry. Bangladesh decided to kick him out anyway.
They called him back, and now they're saying, no, you're not playing with the World Cup. I don't know what's happening with Bangladesh.
Some politics. But no, on a serious note, I think a real good player to watch out for is Harry Brook. I think he's in the squad for England, and I think England won't use him for a lot of the games, but when they do use him on a very flat batting track, I think he can literally add those like 30-40 runs, and that could be like a game-changing kind of innings. So it would be Harry Brook for me. Now, talking about important tournaments and key fixtures, let's talk about something that's been happening in Canada.
Very interesting.
The Last Man Stands League. What's the take of it in your opinion?
So very good news for our university. I mean, we'll talk more about this in the next episode as well. We'll have some special guests on. We'll not reveal it right now, but we have something very, very exciting coming up. But yeah, very, very big news coming in recently as well. I think a few days back, we won the University League, the LMS University League. That's a league that's been played across Vancouver, Burnaby, Surrey.
Definitely.
With lots of universities taking part, and big teams like SFU are also in there. So yeah, we beat them in the final a few days back. We beat SFU. You can see some of the live streams of that on our Instagram page as well. You can follow the live score online. But amazing moment, winning the cup after such a long season. We had our ups and downs, but just such a strong team. We played, I think, 14 games, won 13, lost 1. Absolute domination. Absolute domination.
It's like Gujarat in IPL, Not like RCB in IPL. It's like Gujarat in IPL.
In Ahmedabad.
It's
like Shubman Gill in Ahmedabad.
Everybody in our team was Shubman Gill.
Yeah.
Not with the ball. But
not with the ball.
Not with the ball.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely amazing. It was a exciting, league to watch. A lot of performances in the league. And we'll talk more about this definitely in the upcoming episodes. But yeah, that concludes our comeback episode to the studio. Hope you guys have liked it. We really appreciate all the support that we've been getting throughout the our podcast, even on Zoom. We of course have an audience for this podcast. Hopefully more in the future. And thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and if hit any comments you guys want to cover more stuff. And yeah, follow us on our Insta pages as well. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.